Hey guys, Sophie here. I thought I'd do a little video talking about Holy Priest because I've had a lot of people asking questions about it, and I haven't really had much time to play it on beta. So this video is a little bit different. I'm just gonna do like a voiceover and just talk about how the spec feels in general. I'm not a high-end Holy Priest player. I do 20s on Holy on live just for fun. So this isn't like gonna be some deep dive with like a lot of holy knowledge. It's just gonna be kind of how it feels. I'll probably compare it to Disc, and just talk about some of the new things. Now there is a few new things to Holy. So you have Powered Shield, which is pretty nice. It's a nice little damage reduction. But also, it feels a little bit weird trying to adjust to having it because, like, on live you don't have it. So, you're kind of, I don't know, trying to get it to fit in a little bit. Also, I'm running the legendary for every 15 seconds that you don't cast Flash Heal. Your next Flash Heal healing is increased by 50% and stacks up to 4 times. Now, I don't know if that is the legendary that you want to go. It's just kind of, I made a few and I went, oh, this sounds interesting. Maybe I'll try it. Because it will feel kind of like, I don't know, it'll feel kind of like Spirit of Preservation in some way. And like with the way that Holy feels, you're kind of flash heal spamming on the tank a little bit. But now that you have all these damage spells and you have like Powered Shield, you've got your Circle of Healing, you've got like, I don't know, your infusions, there's kind of a lot of things that you can be doing to try and let that 15 seconds go by to kind of ramp up your flash heal. But in saying that, I don't think it's going to be your go-to legendary. I do want to try the other ones because for some reason I think they'll be a little bit easier to play around. Because I did like a 7 key earlier, which I forgot to record. I forgot to press record. And it felt like I was pressing flash heal quite a lot. So I'm not sure if that legendary is very ideal for those kind of situations. Because the problem with Holy is it lacks a tank external. Like, Disc has Pain Sup. Like, Resto Druid has Iron Bark. Life Cocoon somewhat forms as a tank external. It's not really a damage reduction, but it's kind of like Holy has Guardian Spirit and that's kind of it. It's like, okay, we'll put this on your tank. If they die, it's whatever. And it just kind of busts your healing to the person. And it's like, well, I guess it's okay. It's nothing super special. And like, yeah, okay, you could put a shield on your tank now, but you're still going to kind of, I don't know, you're still going to kind of be flash healing. Like, it's just kind of the way that the spec feels a little bit. It does have some nice damage abilities. Like your death, you've got your pain. You've got I'm using Mind Games. You're not going to go Venthyr. You're probably going to be Kyrian. So your Kyrian boon will be really nice. Yeah, I've got Mind Games. It's kind of average for damage. But I'm using it just to test out Disc. So I just thought I'd give it a whirl. On Holy, it's nothing special. And, apologies about the Night Fae ability trying to crash my computer. But it feels okay. I'd never really used it to help me heal. I just kind of used it like as a damage, I don't know, kind of like in the function of a Crucible of Flame on live. As you can see, it didn't really do much damage. But I mean, it was one cast. So your overall still going to be kind of smite heavy. Like that's going to be your top damage, even just for single target. But you do really lack the AoE. That is kind of the problem that you face. Like, you can spam Holy Nova, you can put your pain dots on everything, but it's still nothing too great. I mean, a lot of healers don't have fantastic AoE, but it does feel a little bit sad, in my opinion. But I mean, it's better having something to do damage than to not have it all. But again, I think Holy will probably struggle in the higher keys. Now, I know on the tier lists it's like right at the bottom, which unfortunately I do have to agree with. Because it just lacks the tank help. It kind of lacks the damage. It's not a particularly it doesn't really bring anything to the table. Like, it's not like it doesn't bring lust, it doesn't bring a B-res. You're probably better off playing Disc. Disc is great right now, and I think Disc will continue to be great. So kind of playing Holy over Disc is more for those who, I don't know, enjoy Holy more. Like, they enjoy the way that it feels. But for me, I mean, I'm a key pusher, and I, do like Mythic Prog, so Disc is just better for me. But I do think that Holy is special. It is fun. And for those who like it right now on live, you're going to love it on beta. Oh, sorry, on Shadowlands release, or beta if you get beta access. It does okay. I kind of can't really say it's anything great. Like, it performs as it should, and it will probably stay, like, it's okay for the mid-tier keys, and the people who play it in high-end keys are people who love to play Holy, and they can make it work for sure. But for those who play Disc, or are thinking of playing Disc, we probably won't play Holy, just because it doesn't bring anything that makes you want to pick a Holy over Disc. I kind of sound like I'm dogging on Holy, and that's not really my intention at all. Because the damage spells are pretty fun. Apologies about the really terrible frame drop right here. I might just skip. It is pretty fun. It has its weaknesses for sure, and all of its weaknesses are pretty much just channeled into dealing with your tank's HP. I think if your tank is really good, and they know what they're doing, it will work. But I think if you kind of have someone who's maybe new to tank, or doesn't quite know, how much damage the packs do, you're probably going to struggle in these higher keys, like probably 15 plus. Again, I haven't done them. This is just kind of what I have thought. But the healing rotation is the same. It's like pretty much you just want your kind of hots out, then you want your circle of healing. Sorry, I'm like kind of skipping over the names because I'm not a true Holy player who can name these things off the tip of my tongue, because I definitely can't. But it feels fun. Like, I do have to say, I've done 2 keys so far, and I have enjoyed both keys. The 7 that I did, the bosses hit really hard, and Grievous is a pain in the ass, so it was quite brutal, and I really wish I had that recorded, so I'm probably going to try and go back in after this, and maybe try and do another 7, 8. I could try and do a 10, but I'm a little bit worried about prideful with Holy. It just, I don't know, it doesn't have, it's a little bit boring, I guess. I don't also know how to play Holy as well as some of the people who I've seen play Holy, who they probably know how to make it work. But I just think it's just going to take a little bit of getting used to where its weaknesses are and trying to lessen those weaknesses, I guess. Because its AoE healing feels really good. Like, I didn't have any trouble at all today with my AoE healing. It's literally just that tank healing, and I also don't know what all the packs do, so I don't quite know which ones are, which ones I really need to be watching my tank and keeping an eye on managing his HP. Because I think once you have dungeon knowledge, it's a little bit easier because you know where the damage is going to come in. And so you can kind of prepare for it. But for me, some of the dungeons I've been doing, I've never done before in my life. So I'm not much help to my tank. But I do think it needs a little bit of something. From what I was looking at, that none of the legendaries are super exciting to me. I do like the one, the self-res, I think it is, the 10-minute self-res or something. That seems interesting, but I also kind of think that's not really a legendary you're gonna want to play in high keys. It's like a battle res for yourself, sure, but also the other ones don't seem particularly game-changing, so that's a little bit worrying to me. I would like to know what you guys think about the legendaries, because you might think that some are better suited than I do, and for sure that, I'd love to hear, because I'm not a holy player and I'm happy to take any suggestions. But I mean, it handles everything I've put it through. It's handled well. It just lacks that little something to make it. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling at this point, so we can't get to the end of the video. This is why I'm not very good at voiceovers. But I do think Disc is just significantly better. Like, if you're watching this thinking like, oh, do I play Holy? Do I play Disc? If you're just a casual player who enjoys the feel of Holy, go for it. Like, play Holy to your heart's content. You're not gonna lose anything, I don't think. If you're pushing higher than 50s, okay. That's the end. If you're pushing higher than 15s, I mean, later, like, obviously, this is on release. Things are gonna change. The spec might get better. They might tweak some things. I don't really know specifically what needs to get tweaked, because everything kind of just felt okay. But then I haven't really pushed it to its limits yet. So I'm sure if I did, like, a, 13, 14, I'd really feel like what's missing. But sometimes people in my comments always say, like, oh, do you think I could play this, in keys? And I think that you could play absolutely any healer that you want. Like, in some of these keys, it doesn't matter. Like, you play what you love, and that's all that matters, because, like, it's a game at the end of the day. And I know that sounds like a lecture, but I just want to get across, if people watch this and hear me saying, like, I think the Disc is better, I just want you to know that that doesn't mean that Holy is unplayable, and it doesn't mean that you have to learn Disc to play it, like, to not play Holy. But yeah, that's kind of all I had to say on the Holy Priest front. I would love to know if you guys have any legendaries that you think are better than what I had, which I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's a better legendary. Please let me know. I'm going to try after this and go and record a higher key, just so you guys can really see it kind of like put under pressure. But if you've watched this far and you've seen me attempt to play Holy Priest, thank you for sticking around. I'm very sorry I'm not a next level, like 4K Holy Priest. I only really know the basics, but yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely, wonderful day or night or wherever you are. Bye!